Goal-scoring instinct. One of the biggest arguments fans bring up when comparing Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi is goal-scoring instinct. Both players score incredible numbers of goals, but the way they do it is very different. Messi is famous for creating space through dribbling and quick combinations, often scoring after weaving through defenders. Ronaldo's path turned him into something closer to a pure predator inside the box. When Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United in 2003, he was actually similar to Messi in one way. A flashy winger who loved dribbling and stepovers. But under Sir Alex Ferguson, Ronaldo slowly reshaped his game. By the 2007 to 2008 season, he exploded with 42 goals in all competitions, transforming from a winger into a ruthless finisher. Messi, meanwhile, stayed closer to his playmaker roots at Barcelona, often dropping deeper to control games and create chances. Ronaldo evolved in the opposite direction, moving closer to goal and focusing almost entirely on scoring. That's why his scoring profile became incredibly diverse. Headers, penalties, long-range shots, volleys, tap-ins. Messi scores many brilliant goals, but Ronaldo became known for scoring in almost every possible way. Over time, he became the all-time leading scorer in both Champions League history and international football. Supporters of Ronaldo argue that this pure goal-hunting instinct, the ability to score regardless of the situation, gives him an edge in the scoring debate. Physical dominance. Another clear difference between Ronaldo and Messi appears the moment they step onto the pitch. Messi's style is built around balance, agility, and close control. His low center of gravity allows him to glide past defenders almost effortlessly. Ronaldo built his advantage through physical dominance. When he first joined Manchester United, Premier League defenders constantly pushed him off the ball. Instead of avoiding contact, Ronaldo transformed his body. Hours in the gym turned him into one of the most athletic footballers ever. By the time he reached his peak at Real Madrid, Ronaldo could sprint like a winger, shoot like a striker, and jump higher than almost anyone on the field. One famous moment came in 2013 when he scored a towering header against Manchester United, rising nearly 8 feet in the air. Messi rarely relies on aerial battles, while Ronaldo turned them into a major weapon. In terms of speed, strength, and jumping ability, Ronaldo's athletic profile often gives him advantages that Messi simply doesn't rely on in his style of play. Success across multiple leagues. Another major talking point in the Ronaldo versus Messi debate is adaptability. Messi spent most of his prime career with Barcelona, dominating La Liga in a system perfectly built around him. Ronaldo's journey was very different. His career became a tour through several of football's biggest leagues. It started in Portugal with Sporting Lisbon before moving to the Premier League with Manchester United, one of the most physically demanding competitions in the world. There he won multiple league titles and a Champions League before transferring to Real Madrid in 2009 for a record fee. In Spain, he entered direct competition with Messi during the famous El Clasico era, pushing both players to historic scoring numbers. But Ronaldo didn't stop there. In 2018, he moved to Juventus in Italy's Serie A league historically known for defensive tactics. Despite the challenge, Ronaldo quickly became Juventus's top scorer and helped them continue winning titles. Messi eventually left Barcelona years later to play in France and later the United States. But many Ronaldo supporters argue that succeeding in multiple elite leagues earlier in his career shows a unique level of adaptability. Clutch moments in big games. When comparing Ronaldo and Messi, fans often ask one question: who delivers when the pressure is highest? Messi has produced countless magical moments, especially with his dribbling and playmaking. But Ronaldo built a reputation as one of football's most clutch performers, particularly in knockout competitions. The Champions League became the stage where this reputation truly formed. One famous example came in 2017 when Real Madrid faced Bayern Munich. Ronaldo scored crucial goals across the tie, pushing Madrid past one of Europe's strongest teams. Another legendary moment came in 2019 when Juventus faced Atletico Madrid. Juventus had lost the first leg 2-0 and looked eliminated. Ronaldo responded with a hat-trick in the second leg, single-handedly turning the tie around. Messi has delivered brilliant performances too, but critics sometimes point out that his Champions League knockout moments haven't matched Ronaldo's dramatic rescue acts in later years. Because of nights like these, Ronaldo developed a reputation for thriving under extreme pressure. Longevity and reinvention. Another reason the Ronaldo versus Messi debate continues is longevity. Messi remained dominant through his technical brilliance, vision, and playmaking. Ronaldo extended his career by constantly reinventing his role on the field. Early in his career, he was a fast winger known for flashy dribbling. During his Real Madrid years, he became a devastating inside forward, cutting in from the left to score huge numbers of goals. Later, as he aged, he transformed again into a pure striker focused almost entirely on positioning and finishing. Messi's game also evolved, gradually becoming more of a deep playmaker over time. But Ronaldo's elite conditioning allowed him to remain a top goalscorer even into his late 30s. Few athletes in any sport maintain elite performance across nearly 2 decades. Ronaldo's ability to adapt his style across different eras of football is one reason his supporters believe his longevity under constant pressure gives him a unique place in football history. Winning mentality. Another argument often brought up in the Ronaldo versus Messi debate is mentality. Both players are extremely competitive, but they show it in very different ways. Messi is known for a calm, almost quiet intensity. He rarely shows emotion and lets his football speak for him. Ronaldo, on the other hand, built his career around an almost obsessive drive to win. That mentality started early in his life in Madeira, Portugal. When he moved to Lisbon at just 12 years old to join Sporting's academy, he was far from home and determined to prove himself. That hunger followed him everywhere. At Manchester United, teammates quickly noticed that Ronaldo treated every training session like a competition. Small drills, shooting practice, even fitness tests. He wanted to win everything. Messi's greatness often feels effortless, built on natural talent and extraordinary vision. Ronaldo's supporters argue that his greatness comes from relentless discipline and work ethic. His strict diet, intense gym routines, and constant focus on improvement became legendary among teammates and coaches. Many of them have said he was one of the hardest-working players they had ever seen. That mindset allowed him to stay at the top of football for nearly 2 decades and remains one of the main reasons fans argue that Ronaldo's mentality gives him an edge. International impact. Another key comparison between Ronaldo and Messi appears in international football. Playing for your country brings a different kind of pressure because national teams cannot simply buy the best players. They rely on whatever talent the country produces. Argentina has historically been one of football's strongest nations, producing legends like Diego Maradona long before Messi. Portugal, by contrast, had far fewer major international successes. Before Ronaldo's era, the country had great players like Eusebio and Luis Figo, but very few major trophies. That changed during Ronaldo's leadership. The defining moment came in the 2016 UEFA European Championship. Portugal entered the tournament as an underdog. In the final against France, Ronaldo suffered an injury early in the match and had to leave the field. But instead of disappearing, he stood on the sideline like a second coach, shouting instructions and motivating his teammates. Portugal eventually won 1-0, claiming the first major international trophy in the country's history. Messi's international story followed a different path. For years, he faced criticism after losing multiple finals with Argentina, before eventually winning the Copa America and the World Cup later in his career. Both players achieved international glory, but many Ronaldo supporters argue that leading a smaller football nation like Portugal to major trophies adds unique weight to his legacy. Versatility in scoring. Another difference between Ronaldo and Messi can be seen in how they score their goals. Messi's scoring style is closely tied to his dribbling and playmaking. Many of his goals come after beating defenders with quick touches and precise control, often finishing calmly inside the box. Ronaldo's scoring ability, however, evolved into something far more varied. Over time, he developed the ability to score in almost every possible way. During his Manchester United years, he became famous for powerful long-range shots and unpredictable knuckleball free kicks. Then there are his headers. Ronaldo's aerial ability turned him into one of the most dangerous attacking threats in football history. His timing and explosive jumping power allowed him to score goals that seemed impossible. Messi rarely relies on aerial battles due to his height and playing style, while Ronaldo made heading one of his most effective weapons. Add in penalties, counterattack finishes, volleys, and even spectacular bicycle kicks. Ronaldo's supporters often argue that this variety makes him harder to defend because he can threaten the goal from almost any situation, while Messi's brilliance usually begins with the ball at his feet. Champions League legacy. The Champions League is widely considered the biggest stage in club football, where careers are often defined by a few decisive moments. Both Ronaldo and Messi have produced unforgettable performances in this tournament, but Ronaldo's record in the Champions League became historically dominant. His journey in the competition began with Manchester United, where he helped win the title in 2008. But his legacy truly exploded during his years at Real Madrid. Between 2014 and 2018, Madrid won 4 Champions League titles in 5 seasons, and Ronaldo played a central role in that dynasty. During that time, he broke numerous records, including the most goals in a single Champions League season and eventually becoming the all-time top scorer in the competition. Messi also produced legendary Champions League moments, especially earlier in his Barcelona career. But in later years, Ronaldo's dramatic knockout performances often stood out more. One unforgettable example came in 2018 when he scored a spectacular bicycle kick against Juventus, a goal so impressive that even the opposing fans applauded. Because of moments like that, many fans began calling him Mr. Champions League, highlighting how often he delivered on football's biggest club stage. Global icon status. Beyond trophies and statistics, another difference between Ronaldo and Messi is global influence. Messi is admired for his humility and quiet personality, often staying away from the spotlight. Ronaldo embraced a much larger public presence. As football expanded worldwide through television and social media, he became one of the most recognizable athletes on the planet. His famous "Siu" celebrations spread across stadiums and playgrounds everywhere, copied by millions of young players. His social media following eventually grew into the hundreds of millions, making him one of the most followed individuals in the world. While Messi also became globally famous, Ronaldo's image, his confidence, physical conditioning, and lifestyle turned him into a symbol of athletic ambition. His influence extended beyond football into fitness culture, sports branding, and the way modern athletes build their personal brands. For many fans, this combination of elite performance and worldwide impact helped elevate Cristiano Ronaldo into something bigger than just a football player. Work ethic and self-made path. Another reason fans often bring up in the Ronaldo versus Messi debate is the difference in how their talents developed. Messi's brilliance was obvious very early. At Barcelona's famous La Masia Academy, coaches quickly realized they were watching a once-in-a-generation talent. His dribbling, vision, and balance looked almost natural even as a teenager. Ronaldo's journey looked very different. When he arrived at Manchester United in 2003, he was talented but raw. Many critics at the time even said he relied too much on flashy skills and stepovers. Instead of staying that player, Ronaldo rebuilt his game through relentless work. Extra training sessions, strict fitness routines, and constant improvement turned him from a tricky winger into one of the most complete attackers the sport has ever seen. Teammates often tell stories about Ronaldo staying long after practice to train shooting or fitness. Messi's greatness is often described as natural genius. Ronaldo's supporters argue his greatness feels more self-made, built through obsession, discipline, and years of pushing his limits. Leadership and presence. Another difference fans point to is leadership style. Messi has always led mostly through his football. His quiet personality means he rarely shouts instructions or dominates the locker room with speeches. Instead, he inspires teammates through creativity and moments of brilliance on the field. Ronaldo's leadership style is much more vocal and visible. Throughout his career, he became known for demanding intensity from teammates and pushing teams forward during difficult moments. This was especially noticeable with the Portuguese national team. During big tournaments, Ronaldo often acted as both captain and motivator, constantly encouraging teammates and reacting emotionally to every moment of the game. Even when he was injured in the Euro 2016 final, he spent the entire match on the sidelines shouting instructions and celebrating every defensive play. Ronaldo's supporters often argue that this visible presence, this ability to energize teammates and raise the emotional level of a team, is another factor that separates him from Messi in the eyes of many fans.